In the late 2010s, two artists emerged who didn't just make music. They cracked open an entire generation's emotional core. Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion spoke directly to kids who felt unheard, unseen, overwhelmed by a world that suddenly felt way heavier than anyone ever admitted. Their music wasn't always polished, it wasn't always pretty, but it was real. And for millions, it was the first time someone said out loud the things they've been feeling in silence. To understand the impact of these two artists, you have to understand the cultural moment they emerged onto. Gen Z grew up online. They grew up with constant comparison through social media, rising anxiety and depression, a pressure to be perfect in a world that felt increasingly unstable. Therapy wasn't normalized yet, vulnerability wasn't cool yet, and most mainstream music, especially hip-hop, centered around bravado, wealth, and invincibility. But beneath the surface, Gen Z was quietly drowning. They were dealing with heartbreak, trauma, loneliness, and mental health struggles, and nobody was speaking their language. Then almost out of nowhere, two teenagers from Florida and Chicago stepped into the spotlight with a completely different message.
Get off of the cell phone, get off the fucking internet, be a person and learn how to love yourself, so that way we can end this cycle of destruction, we can end this cycle of hate, and we can start experiencing more love, and there will be more love in the streets, more genuine love, more genuine care for people. You can't care for someone if you don't love yourself.
XXXTentacion, known to fans simply as X, exploded onto SoundCloud around 2016. His sound was chaotic, experimental, and brutally emotional. He embodied the feeling of a generation that didn't have a filter and didn't want one. He'd scream on one track, then whisper a confession on the next, then drop a song so soft and lonely it felt like reading someone's private journal. X's breakthrough was not just musical, it was emotional honesty. He talked openly about it all the time. Talked about trauma, depression, and the desire for redemption at a time when hip-hop rarely touched vulnerability. He did the opposite. He made sadness the main character. His album 17 was basically a therapy session disguised as music. It was only 22 minutes long, which is so crazy for an album, but for many kids, it was the first time they heard an artist say things that they thought no one else felt. He also represented the DIY spirit of SoundCloud rap. Unpolished, unpredictable, and real. He didn't fit into categories. That's exactly why teenagers connected with him. They weren't tidy either. Neither was their pain. But X wasn't just the voice of pain, he was also the voice of transformation. As his career progressed, he focused more on growth, forgiveness, and finding peace. That journey made fans feel like they were growing alongside him.
Listen, what I applaud and what I preach to you kids as young individuals, follow your dreams fully. It's about the amount of patience. It's about the amount of patience you have to follow your dreams is the question. It's not about how you will get there. Life itself and the universe will align itself for you to reach your dreams. You understand?
I mean, everybody knows this. His life was complicated. His legacy, complicated. But his impact, undeniable. To a generation struggling to make sense of their emotions, X didn't just speak, he screamed, and we heard him. If X was the raw scream of a generation, Juice WRLD was his melody.
My message to the youth is to be strong no matter what you're going through. If you need help, seek help. Whether if you don't want professional help, seek help and surround yourself with people that'll help you, that'll listen to you, that got your best interest.
Where X was chaotic and experimental, Juice was fluid, effortless. He blended emo, pop, and hip-hop into something entirely new, and he did it without ever hiding what he was going through. Juice's music wasn't about being perfect, it was about being honest. He talked openly about heartbreak, anxiety, addiction, self-medication, and the fear of losing the people he loved most. His breakout hit, Lucid Dreams, wasn't a traditional rap song. It was a diary entry with a beat. and it blew open the door for emotional rap in the mainstream culture. Juice's superpower was his freestyling ability. No one else could do it like him. He could walk into a studio, hear a beat, and spill his soul for minutes without stopping. It wasn't rehearsed and it wasn't scripted. He was just like that. It was pure emotion delivered in real time. This authenticity made people feel like they weren't listening to an artist, they were listening to a friend. And unlike many artists, Juice didn't shy away from talking about the darker side of self-medication. He didn't glamorize it. He explained it. He admitted he was struggling with it, and tragically, his life became a warning of how real those struggles were. But even in his darkest songs, Juice had a sense of hope, a belief that pain could be transformed into art, and that art could help people feel less lonely. Juice and X were the two brightest stars in a larger movement. SoundCloud rap. It was a space where kids who didn't fit into the mainstream hip-hop scene, these artists made songs for kids who didn't care about Grammys or radio plays or traditional music rules. What mattered was connection. Juice and X became the movement's voice and heart. Let's be real, they brought the underground into the mainstream, and in doing so, they helped reshape what hip-hop could be for generations. It could be anxious, it could be vulnerable, it could be messy, it could be human. They didn't just break genre rules, they rewrote them. So what made their impact so unique? Why them? Because Juice and X didn't just talk to their fans, they talked with them.
This type of shit is gonna take you far. Keep following.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
It goes very far, and then just even it all lies in your mind. Don't get caught up in everything that's outside of your mind. The more time you spend in your mind, I really honestly want you to keep my warning, because if you don't, it doesn't go anywhere. Everything besides what you got planned does not matter. You gotta stay in your mind.
Keep going, bro. Hey, man, I appreciate it so much, dog.
Just remember what I said. Study your laws of the universe. Laws of the universe, or get the master key.
I appreciate it, dog.
He created music that said, I feel this too. I've been where you are not alone. They made pain feel like something you were allowed to talk about. They normalized mental health struggles before the rest of the world did. And in an era where everything was curated, everything was filtered, everything looked polished, their music felt like the truth. For millions of kids who felt misunderstood, these artists became lifelines. When people say Juice and X saved their life, they're not exaggerating, they're just being honest. Music is far too powerful, and their music was a mirror for a generation that desperately needed to see itself. Both artists would unfortunately die far too young. X at 20, Juice at 21. Their deaths shook the world because they weren't just artists, they were symbols of hope for people who felt like they had none. Their passing raised conversations about mental health, addiction, violence, and the pressure young artists faced all the time. But even in death, their legacy didn't fade. It in fact grew. Their music continues to chart, their styles continue to influence the next wave of artists. Their themes, heartbreak, anxiety, vulnerability, are now mainstream. They didn't just define a generation, they changed the emotional DNA of modern music forever. Juice and X reminded an entire generation that pain is real, so is connection. They show that strength doesn't come from hiding your emotions, it comes from expressing them. And long after the headlines fade and people don't talk about this anymore, their music will still continue to echo in bedrooms, headphones, late night drives, and hearts all over the world. These guys weren't perfect human beings by no stretch. I'm sure if they were around, they would say the same thing. You guys let me know, what did you think about Juice and X? Were you fans? Were you not fans? Just express your honesty in the comment section if you want to. I made a Discord. Jump into Discord if you want. I go by Radio University. I appreciate the love, and I'll see you in whatever I upload next.